I've started on a path.
Yeah, but it's
I've
completely
opened
blind.
up. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I've started the
Yeah,
journey.
you're nearly there.
That's
If
good.
you are just watching or listening in,
Hello, everybody.
hello. You haven't just walked into a
Mm.
random conversation. I don't know if I click pause or float. Okay. I always
Oh
I
yeah,
always get really paranoid that I'm not doing this right, but I have done it right. Have you prepared
you
anything
do.
for this week?
No, it's your week, isn't it?
Well, technically, because you didn't do it last week, it is meant to be your week.
Oh,
But you know what? I anticipated
oh!
that you
I
wouldn't
thought we was
prepare
just.
anything. So instead,
What?
I prepared something
I...
for this week.
I'm
I
sorry.
had a sneaking suspicion.
I thought we was just going to use what you would have done last week. I'm sorry.
No, it was your week
Okay.
last week.
What
Yeah,
was it? No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
it weren't my week last week because I didn't prepare anything for last week.
No, I did because I did the one. That was the last one that we did. Do you remember the one?
Oh, it was my week last week.
Mm. But you have something
No,
anyway.
I do actually. I do have something. We're
Okay.
going to be
Praise
talking
the Lord.
about.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. In fact, I'm not going to tell you what we're going to be talking about yet.
Oh, this is great. Okay.
Welcome, welcome. This is I have forgotten the name of this. So
Christian dating podcast. Something.
Christian dating
Christian.
podcast
Yeah.
with
Hello.
me, Cassandra, and Rob. Duh, duh, duh.
Hmm.
That was our theme tune.
That was good. I thought you was going to let me say my name though. You know when they
Sorry,
go
with
like
me, Cassandra.
Mika San and me, Rob Morgan.
You see, I feel like I said that
That's it.
first, but that's how you want to introduce yourself. Go for it. That's how. If you're happy with that standard, then okay, I'm happy
It's
too.
okay. It's okay.
Right. So before we get into it, let's do just some quick fire questions to lead us into the
Okay.
topic for this week.
Hmm.
Rob, have you ever learned another language?
I've tried to learn another language. Tried to learn Spanish. Tried to learn. I mean, I did German at school. I can speak in tongues. I can. That's another language.
That is the best language, one may say. Almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, but I would. Yeah, I feel kind of embarrassed that I only know one language.
Yeah, I think it's
But
hard learning another language though, because
yeah, and also you can kind of get by with just English. Like if it was very necessary to learn another language, I would. But like you go to a foreign country, you just speak a bit louder and you can get by. So
wow, you see,
the
that is the most
incentive isn't there.
British thing. If you just shout at them, they'll get it.
And point.
If you just shout and point, they'll understand. Have you ever tried snails?
Oh no, I have tried. Oh no, I have. I think once. Yeah, I have. I have, and they wasn't that great. I've tried. I like mussels,
Okay.
but yeah, I think I had a snail once. I can't remember where, but I remember not being like overly impressed. That's a great
In the garden.
question. What made you think of that question? Oh no, not in the garden. No, I
Because
went
you're
to a
saying it like
restaurant.
you don't remember what restaurant it was, and I feel like it's a very significant thing to try snails, unless you just like found one somewhere.
Yeah, it might have been in France. It was in France. I'm sure. I think it was with France with my lad friends, and
Nice.
I think yeah, we got some, but I only had one bite. I'm pretty sure, but and it wasn't overwhelmingly amazing.
I quite like snails. I'm not gonna lie.
You have them on a regular occurrence?
No, I mean no, no. I had them in France and I really enjoyed them. I thought they tasted a bit like chicken.
Okay, yeah, yeah, they're a bit gooey, aren't they? A bit
A bit
like
a
slimy.
gooey chicken.
Mm.
Have you ever been broken up with?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, not like. I mean, I've dated people when they're broken up with me, but I've never actually been broken up with in a long term. I've never had a long term relationship. I don't know what that's like, but I've definitely been broken up with, and it's hurt. Yeah,
Mm.
really, really hurt.
Have you ever broken up with someone?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? It's a lot harder if you're broken up with.
Oh
If you're the
yeah.
person,
No, it is. It is. Um, it is.
but
No, there's no but. I thought there was. No, let me apologize. There's no.
No,
It is.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you why. The only thing that when it is good when you've been broken up with, is like you can't control it. You didn't make the decision, so you're kind of free to move on. Maybe the other person is like, oh, did I make the right decision? I think if you are broken up with, it does give you like a liberty and just to like move on with your life.
That's a very interesting way to look at it because that is quite true. If you do break up with someone, you do have to sit for the rest of your days thinking, did I make the right decision? Especially if that person goes on
Mm-hmm.
and they have a happy life and you're still sat there 20 years later just
Mm-hmm.
miserable. You got to look and think, did I did I make
Mm-hmm.
the right
Mm-hmm.
decision? So it's a
Mm-hmm.
massive, it's a big burden to break up with someone, to be fair. Um
Yeah, it's hard, and a lot of thought goes into it. I think, yeah, it takes a while to get there, but you need to respect the decision
you do
because
need to
it
respect it.
wasn't just out of nowhere. It was many things that led up to it, and but yeah, I think just being broken up with like triggers me. Like I think I just have some like rejection issues. Yeah, so it's kind of heightened. Like
Mm.
it triggers something. It gives a stronger reaction than it should, I think.
Yeah, no, it's a difficult thing. The final question is,
Okay.
I mean, I'm guessing the answer to this will be yes, based off of what you've just said. Have you ever been
Uh,
heartbroken?
oh, yeah. Yeah, but I think, but again, it probably wasn't, I don't know if it was a real heart. It might have been a kind of a, what do they call it? Like, I don't know if it was a real, because I build the person up so high, it's not
Mm.
actually them. The person who's broken my heart is not actually the real person. But I've
Interesting.
definitely had a lot of hope where something's going to go. Hey,
Sorry, excuse me.
um, bless you. And yeah, it hasn't. I've definitely thought, oh, this person we could like be together, and then they haven't wanted that, and then it's like, oh, you know.
It's difficult. Well,
And then especially if they date one of your friends after, that's
what?
hard. Well,
Is it? That's
that,
not normal, is it? What
no,
is
when I was a
that?
lot, yeah. Well, this is like when I was a teenager. But
Wow, what
yeah,
on
yeah,
earth
yeah.
is going on there?
No, yeah. This is not recent times.
Whew. Well,
Yeah.
today's topic, in case you couldn't guess, is how to heal after heartbreak.
Oh wow, this is great. This is
Yes.
good. I
How
like
to
this. Come
heal
on.
after heartbreak. Because it is
Oh, come
something that I
on.
think a lot of us have experienced. Um, and it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to be heartbroken. It's not nice. It's not a nice feeling.
No, it's horrible because they're basically someone has literally like got close to you, looked under the hood of your life, evaluated it, and gone, nah, not
All
for
right.
me.
Well, that's a really harsh way of putting that.
You said that a few episodes ago.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, I take it back. That was
You
quite
like
harsh.
they said
They just
nah,
said nah. They just said nah.
nah.
Not interested. Sorry. But so if we are to define what heartbreak is, first and foremost, we're
Oh, this
talking
is
about
good.
romantic heartbreak because there's many different
Okay,
types of
yeah.
heartbreak in life. There's heartbreak when people pass
Mm,
away. There's heartbreak
mm-hmm.
when things happen in the world and you just feel really brokenhearted.
Mm,
But because this is salt and this is dating
mm-hmm.
and that, we're talking about romantic
Mm-hmm.
heartbreak, and some things don't
Christian
overlap.
heartbreak.
Christian
We're talking
romantic
about
heartbreak, holy
Christian
heartbreak,
heartbreak.
holy
Holy
heartbreak,
heartbreak. That's the episode name. I like that.
holy heartbreak. So what is it? What is heartbreak? What does it feel like? What does it feel like?
Heartbreak. There's many emotions. There's many emotions in that involve that are mixed up with heartbreak. I think, yeah, obviously the sense of hope being deferred, like you had a vision of you with this person, and
Mm,
that's not going to happen. You kind of lose a very close friend as well, and like then
mm,
you basically excommunicate them from your life, which yeah, so you could probably feel some grief too. And then sometimes you can feel a bit foolish as well. It's like, oh, how did I let myself get so? How was I so open? How did I get so attached to this
mm,
person? And then because I think after heartbreak, like time can kind of reveal what the actual situation was when you're not like in the midst of like love hormones going on in your head, and like you like I think yeah, a bit of like self, just like oh, why did I get so caught up in this, and why am I hurting? Almost a bit of regret, I suppose. So I think there's many emotions
There's loads of
that
different
involve her.
emotions. Now there is. I found loads of people describing what heartbreak feels like.
Wow, this is great. Come on, Cassandra.
Yeah, but some of them are really like it's quite sad. So someone said an
Oh,
emptiness so profound it's physically painful.
oh, yeah, like you feel it kind of like in your
It's
gut, I
physically
suppose.
a painful feeling.
Whoa.
Someone said your world has completely stopped, your purpose and plans completely freeze over. The doubt and questions about your relationship begin, and you are desperate to find a fix. But there is no fix, and the life you thought you had with someone that you once thought was your forever person has just exploded in your face.
Wow.
It's quite
Oh
heartbreak. I
gosh.
mean, it inspires some really amazing songs, art of
Yeah.
heartbreak. It's a very,
Coldplay.
it's one of these. It's a world altering thing. Someone said it's suffocating.
Oh God.
The Oxford
Yeah. There's
definition
a.
is an intense and unbearable or overwhelming feeling of sorrow or emotional distress. It can also refer to the
Oh.
experience of having a broken heart or instances of such intense sorrow. So that's heartbreak.
Oh.
In case you're listening in and you're thinking,
Intense
well, am I
sorrow.
heartbroken? If you feel any of that, yeah, you are. You are heartbroken. But
Oh,
lucky is
I'm
that
trying to
you're
think.
able
Maybe
to
I
push
haven't.
through it.
Maybe I don't know if I felt like intense sorrow. Maybe I haven't been heartbroken.
Well, what do you when you feel like you have been heartbroken? What's your feeling?
Oh wow. I feel like the pain of just rejection, like the pain of being discarded. I think that the pain is stronger than like my desire to be with the person who heartbroke me. It's like more. It's not that I miss the person. It's like that. Yeah, just the pain of being discarded and like, no, you're not good enough. Let's move on
Mm.
to let's move on to someone who can fulfill me and make me happy. Especially like when you try really hard in a relationship and you try so hard to like be the person that they're demanding, but it's you still fall short, and it's just like, oh gosh, I feel a bit discarded, and yeah, I suppose that's the main feeling I feel. Um,
How long has that lasted for you?
and oh my gosh, honestly, I'm quite sensitive. I'm a sensitive guy, and yeah, so I think I react stronger to I do in love. Like I think I just like jump head first. I get so carried away, get so excited, and don't even care about the repercussions. And then when it doesn't work out, I stay kind of like I suppose heartbroken, and I like to like be delve into my heart. I suppose I'm just a bit over emotional for a guy, and so I'll happily stay there for years, months.
Years.
Well, no,
What?
maybe not. Maybe not years. Maybe not years. But
Please. Because you can't
yeah, I
spend
don't
two
know.
years of your life
Yeah,
heartbroken.
no, honestly, I don't like this about me. Like, I don't think it is a good thing. But there's a bit kind of when like you're licking your wounds, and there's a weird self gratuity to it. Um, but again, I'm not the model so far. Like I've explained many podcasts, this is not the model. But
Okay.
I probably stay there longer than a lot of people.
Yeah,
I
I
just
mean,
love
like I said,
love. I love love, Cassandra. Was that bad?
no, it's not a bad thing. I was gonna search how long does heartbreak
Oh,
last.
oh, that's really good. Okay.
I should have searched that up before. How long does heartbreak last? Apparently, it can take uh, Well, actually, to be fair, the rule of thumb is that it takes half as long as what you were with the person for.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that because sometimes, like, just because a relation, feel like that you can't. The time isn't a good way to measure a relationship because if you see the person like once in 3 months, it's going to be different. Or not one. I'm exaggerating. It's going to be different to like if you spend every day with them.
Yes.
You know.
Well, apparently, there's a study that said it takes around 3 months for people to feel positive about their breakup, and
Oh,
it can take up to 6 months for you to feel ready to move on. But again,
right.
that's
Yeah.
dependent upon the person. That's just one study that says that. But years is a very long amount of time to be heartbroken over one person. So please, if you are out here heartbroken, don't spend years of your life.
Yeah, yeah, but also like yeah, don't let it like stop you from moving on.
Don't
Like
let
you
it
can
stop you
still
from moving
you
on.
can still like still get out there. You can still feel a bit kind of hurt and still like you
Oh,
don't have to be fully healed to date.
that's an interesting point because should you should you be moving on if you feel like you're heartbroken over somebody else? Because isn't that just pulling
Yeah,
you
you should
back
because it's
to someone
reality.
else?
No, the other person doesn't want you. So like yeah, I mean you can't like date someone right after you've broken up because you need some sort of healing. But I think it's foolish to like, oh no, I'm not ready to date. I'm not. I need time. Like I'm not fully healed. And then like it's like 5 years later and you're still not fully healed.
Yeah, I mean, you need to. I think, yeah, no, that's fair. I think you obviously have to at some point say, I'm not fully healed, but I'm gonna just try
Hmm.
again. But I think it's
Yeah.
also wise to not, if you know that you can damage that other person, if you know that you're not emotionally available, if your emotions are still caught up over
Mm-hmm.
there, I don't think it's a wise thing to then try
Yeah,
again
and
because you
like
could end up hurting someone else because you're not over that last person.
yeah, and dating another person isn't a fix to like solve your issues from the last. That's kind of cruel to
Come on,
you
somebody.
just use a person as medicine and not actually you know, date them for them. And yeah, I think that's important.
It is important. That is very important. That's some of the. Well, we're going to talk about how to get over heartbreak. But first, let's talk about what it's like to
Oh,
be
so
in
good.
love.
Oh wow.
What are the feelings of being in love?
Oh, you know, again, I don't know if I've actually been in fully love. Like, I don't know, but I
Interesting.
think I've definitely been with people and like, oh, like I like this girl a lot. This is great. I think when you're just in love, you just feel at home with the person, and you don't have to try. You don't have to yeah, you can be completely yourself, I think, and
Mm.
um, yeah, it's more than just butterflies and like having fancying the person. I think
Yeah. No, I feel like it has to be more than that.
yeah, it's deeper than that. It's a lot deeper,
It can't
and
just be butterflies.
I don't know. What do you think? You are in love, I
Well, for
assume.
me, in love is for me right now. In love is he just feels like he's my guy. That's my
Oh,
person. That's my
you're a rock.
yeah, like there's no, I don't doubt anything. I don't ever like question. I have my own little paranoid thoughts sometimes because I think we all do.
Mm-hmm.
But in
Mm-hmm.
general, it's just a very, steady, safe, comfortable. I'm not like, he's
Mm-hmm.
not based in fear that he's going to leave one day. Because I've had that before and I feel like I used to think
Mm-hmm.
that was what being in love was. But actually, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't. That was just me being scared that they're going to leave, and then that
Mm-hmm.
causes a intense feeling of something, and I think that that intensity is the love, but it's not. That's just an intense
Mm.
feeling of fear that they're going to
That's a roller
leave, or
coaster.
that I'm yeah,
Yeah.
it's not in love. That's just hormones and lust and
That's really good.
all
Yeah,
these other things.
intensity of feelings and intensity of fear isn't doesn't mean you're in love.
Doesn't mean you're in love, and I think sometimes we do that. We think the more
Mm,
intense the feeling, the more in love we are. But you have to look at, why
hmm.
is that feeling even intense? What's making it
Yeah,
intense?
usually if it's intense, it's like somebody like the other person's uncertain and they're not giving you certainty.
They're
So
not
you
feelings.
like you have all these big emotions around like anxiety and fear, and you confuse that with I really like you.
Yeah,
That is so good. That's good,
yeah.
Cassandra.
No, you do. You absolutely
Mm,
do. But now I've learned that being in love isn't that. It's the opposite actually. It's just a real. It's coming from a place of you know who the person is. You just love them. You just love who
mm,
they are. You love, if you were not romantically intertwined, you'd still love them because they're just a really great person.
mm-hmm.
And if you top that on
Ah,
with, just that comfortability, romantic desire, but
mm-hmm.
it's not based in anything other than I just really love this person. I love being in their company. I love having them around. You know, that's what it is for me. Um, in
Mm-hmm.
terms of feelings. But did you
That's
know
beautiful.
that when we are in love, it's the same feeling or it releases the same chemicals in our brain as what it is as when you are addicted to cocaine?
Definitely, I can totally agree with that.
That's
Not that I've
crazy.
done not that I've done cocaine,
I was gonna say,
but
bruv, what do you
no,
mean?
I haven't. I've never done cocaine. I've never done cocaine, but it's just so you know. But
You've never done
no,
cocaine. You've never done what?
I've definitely experienced that stage. Oh, like yeah, when you're just I have to be with this person, and like you
Mm.
spend every hour with them. Yeah, it is literally like a drug. You're just
It is.
addicted.
You are
It's
literally
crazy.
addicted. You are
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
actually an
yeah,
addict when you are
yeah,
in love.
yeah.
That is
A
what your
love addict.
brain is saying to you. You are an addict to something. And so it's literally the same thing that happens in our brain.
Is that just in the early? Is that just in the early stages, or what? Or does it peter
That's in
out?
the
Like,
well, it says in love. So when they did a
ah,
study, there was a study that was done and it showed they showed people pictures of people that they were in love with, and they found that it
mm-hmm.
released the same chemicals, it stimulated the same nervous system as what it
Wow,
did when people were addicted to nicotine and cocaine. So it's literally in our brain,
yeah.
it doesn't know any difference.
It's
So
dopamine, isn't it?
it's dopamine, yes, dopamine, and it's just
Mm,
very
mm-hmm,
it's a lot. And so
mm-hmm,
yeah, I guess it kind of when the longer you're with someone, it's not as
mm-hmm,
because you're with them for a long amount of time, but it's still an addict. You're still becoming quite addicted to this feeling and
mm-hmm,
this person
mm-hmm,
just over a
mm-hmm.
slow amount
Oh,
of
I
time.
totally. Yeah, I've definitely experienced that for
Yeah.
sure.
So then you have been in a form of in love then, and that's
I
why
suppose. Yeah.
you have, yeah, and that means you must have felt a form of heartbreak because when you pull away from that, similar to when you
Wow.
tried to come off of cocaine and nicotine,
You get the withdrawal
you're going to
symptoms.
get
Yeah.
withdrawal symptoms and that is going to be really hard.
Yeah.
And all those things that we said heartbreak is,
Mm.
that crushing, that emptiness, that you know
I think it is kind of sad that like, you do have to kind of like X them out. You do you can't. It's kind of hard to be friends after. I don't think
I
it
don't
ever
think
really
you can be,
works.
you know.
No, I don't. I really don't think you
I
can.
don't think you should be.
No, because it's just so confusing and so grey and like yeah. I think yeah, if one person wants to be friends, I think it's a bit selfish. It's like because the other person is obviously feels differently, and yeah, it's just hard. It's just kind of sad. That's the way it works. Like you become really close with this person, and then just suddenly you just can't. They can't be in your life anymore. It's kind of
Yeah, that
sad.
you become strangers again and that's it.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah, it's
it's a hard
sad.
experience. It is. Someone
Really odd.
commented, O'Neill said Delphine doesn't love me anymore.
Oh,
We're very sorry about that, O'Neill.
sorry, O'Neill.
But you know what? You've tuned into the right talk because we're talking about how to get over Delphine. So not
Specifically,
specifically
Delphine.
Delphine, like not like specifically her because we don't know who she is. Like we're not targeting anybody. This is how you get over Delphine. But we are talking about how to get over heartbreak. So if you are just tuning in, welcome. This is the Salt
Mm.
Dating. I need to get the proper name. I it's in our email
Christian
chain.
live, Christian dating show,
Is that
Christian
what it
live
is?
podcast. There isn't an official name.
No,
It's
there is
just
now,
yeah.
but it's
Oh,
it's
is
in our
there?
no, there is, but I forgot it.
Oh,
But we're gonna go with Christian Dating Podcast right now. This is the Christian
right
Dating
now,
Podcast.
Christian dating live right now.
Yes, right now.
I like that. Yeah.
We're talking about how to get over heartbreak, and so we've covered, what heartbreak feels like, uh, what being in love feels like, and a few
Do
other
you
things
think?
as well.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think
Yeah, go on.
heartbreak gets easier as you get older?
I think romantic. Mm, y- no, actually, I don't. Like, I was gonna say yeah, but I actually don't think it does. I think when you love somebody,
Oh,
that's it. You love them, and that's not gonna. There's no amount of wisdom in the
oh,
world. Maybe the way that you
yeah.
manage it will get easier because I think when
Hmm.
you're, you know, early teen,
Yeah.
I say early teens, late teens. Hopefully, no one was heartbroken in the early teens because I don't know why you're dating in your
Hmm.
early teens. To be honest, get back to school. But late teens, early 20s, you know, you don't know how to
I
manage
think
that feeling.
also you don't have as good boundaries when
You
you're a
don't.
lot younger. You'd still kind of talk. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you have better boundaries when you're older.
But the older you get, I think the feeling will still be as intense because that feeling of addict that happens in our brain, that's not going to change because that's
Mm,
how humans are wired. So that's always going to feel the same. But the way that we handle that feeling is going to be different. Like some people
yeah.
say they were heartbroken and they went walking for 5 hours in the rain. I doubt that you'd do that
Wow.
as an older person,
No, no.
because who has the time for
Maybe
that? Sorry, I'm
no.
cold.
You'd probably go for a drive
Go for
instead.
you ain't gonna walk. You just go for a drive.
Like a
Like,
10-minute drive. That'll do it.
10-minute drive.
Put some
We ain't got
take
the
that on.
time. We have things to do.
I
But yeah.
guess now it's time.
Addy said, "I hope this video will be permanent on YouTube. It's very good insights. Thank you very
Oh
much,
wow,
Addy.
insights. Wow, that's generous.
Insights.
Thank you.
Thank you
Maybe
very
from
much.
Cassandra.
I
Thank
don't
you.
know, man. I don't know
Thank
what
you,
insights I
Eddie.
got. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But yeah, so getting over it then. Well, actually,
Oh.
let's talk about the 5 stages of heartbreak. What do you think they are?
Oh, there's five
There's
stages.
five stages.
Wow, that's a lot of stages. Wow. I think I'm still in stage one. I need to get to
Oh,
stage two.
oh man.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Go on, what are they?
Oh, what are they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen this somewhere. Isn't it denial? Is that the first one?
Yes, denial is the first one.
Denial was the first one. Yeah, I read about this the other day.
Why were you reading about
Denial.
this the other day?
I think I probably just googled like how to like stop being heartbroken. I think
Oh,
um, denial. Avoid or
no. It's an A word.
obviously accept.
No, that's stage 5.
Oh, that is the fifth stage. Anger.
Anger. Yes.
Yeah, anger,
Number 3.
anger.
Anger.
Three. Oh, disappoint. Oh, grief,
No.
sadness.
No. That's number 4.
Number three, anger. I don't know. Well, what does it begin with?
Bargaining.
Bargaining. Oh, what you
Yeah,
try
like
and
you
get them
try to get
back?
them back. Yeah.
Oh
Try and get
wow.
them back. Number
Okay.
4 is, like you said, sadness, depression, and then number 5 is acceptance. So they're apparently the 5 stages of heartbreak. So when you first, you're
And then
heartbroken.
like, do you keep going, and then you go back to
You
one
just go
again? Is
round
that?
and round and round.
I feel like that.
You go round and round all day.
I
You're
feel
like,
like yeah, just keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's get like a ride.
let's
Let's go
go
again.
again.
Woo!
But sometimes heartbreak can be like that. You feel like you finally got to a really good
Yeah,
place, and then something will just set you off, and
hundred
you're like,
percent.
oh
Yeah, yeah,
man,
you
I
get
thought I was
triggered.
further along than this.
You get triggered. You get triggered. I mean, there was a situation recently where like I bumped into one of my exes, and like we haven't even been dating for we broke up like over a year and a half ago, you know. But then there's just something that triggered. I mean, it wasn't her per se, but yeah, just that them intense feelings got triggered again. It's like, oh my god, I'm still dealing with this. But then I think it
Mm.
does just come in waves, you know.
It comes in waves, and I think we have to
Mm,
remember that we are just people, and our brains don't know
mm,
anything other than
yeah,
science. And so when we see somebody that
yeah.
has broken our hearts, yeah, of course we're going to feel a certain connection or certain
Mm,
something, anything, because that was a massive, like you said earlier,
yeah.
you've known this person, you're now walking away from this person, you've become strangers. So of
Mm,
course if you see them again after a few months or even a year, you might feel like, oh, that's them.
Mm,
And sometimes
mm,
we can feel like we've gone backwards, but actually we haven't. That's what's meant to happen.
yeah,
You'd be
yeah.
crazy if just felt nothing at all ever for anyone.
Yeah, and also this is a positive. Like heart, if you are heartbroken, it's proof that you did love. Like
Yes.
it's proof that there was investment and there was proof that you opened your heart up. So heartbreak should be celebrated because you put yourself out there and you actually put chips on the table and you were willing to make yourself vulnerable, and that's something that is really to be proud of. Like it's hard. It's hard asking someone out. It's hard dating someone. You make yourself extremely vulnerable.
Yeah.
You're extremely open for judgment, and like you got to celebrate even if it didn't work out in marriage. Like you did a hard
Yeah.
thing, and like just because it didn't work out doesn't mean it doesn't necessarily mean it's a reflection on you and your self-worth. Sometimes it's just a preference thing and a personality fit. But yeah, I think that's the thing. Sometimes it's just hard to not take personally when someone breaks up with you, but ultimately often it is more about the other person than you, and it's just personality fit, it's preference.
Yeah.
But often we take it as like, oh, I'm not worthy to be loved, and like that's just not true. So yeah.
Yes. Love that, Rob. Love that.
Mm. Get fired up.
That was a really good point because it's
Mm.
true in that it is a sign that you can love. That's a good thing. Miriam
Mm.
said, I agree. I think this is really helpful and it can help make people aware so they can better themselves. Thank you very much for that, Miriam.
Mm. Thanks, Miriam.
Um, I can't pronounce this lady's name.
Kethawi. Keth
Kethawi.
Kethawi.
Greetings, you there, in Jesus' name. Greetings to you as well.
Thank
If you
you.
are just
Thank you.
joining, we're
Thanks,
talking
Keth.
about how to get over. Do you just shorten her name?
Yeah.
Right, that's all right.
It's a compliment. It's a compliment.
No, it is. It is. Sure. But we are talking about how to get over heartbreak. And Rob just
Mm.
made a really great point that, heartbreak means that, you loved. And it's
Mm.
funny that you said that because I found a comment from someone and they said heartbreak is kind of cool because at least you know that you're capable of loving someone, whether they deserved it or not. The feeling like that
Yeah.
person that deserves your love is searching for you. You just need to keep putting yourself out there. It's a
Oh,
matter of time before it all works out.
come
And I
on.
think that's really
Come
great
on.
because it is just a sign that
Oh,
you can love. And as hard as it
yeah.
is to get over it, there are some people out there, right, that they've never been heartbroken. They've never felt like they've loved someone. They've never felt
Mm.
that. And that is quite sad. It's quite sad to feel like you've
Mm.
never
They haven't
felt that
experienced
from,
love.
you've never
Yeah.
experienced that. You don't know what that's like. You don't know how
Yeah.
to feel that. And such a massive part of life.
Mm.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
heartbreak is really hard, but it is also a, a sign that I can
Mm.
love. I can love someone, and that's a lovely feeling. Um,
Mm.
Miriam wants to add a thought. She said, I think it is so, so crucial to invite God into each stage of grief as well. Absolutely.
Oh.
We get to know the Lord better when we invite Him into the painful process.
Oh.
Yes. And
Come
you know what?
on.
I'm
The
so glad that
Lord.
you said that, Miriam, because we are going to move on to the how do you get over heartbreak? How do you move past
Yeah.
it? How do you get through denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance? What do you have to do? But
Wow.
first, there's some tips that are not, they're just people focused. They're not so much Christian focused. So that I found. Then we're going to move on to maybe
Mm-hmm.
the Christian focused ones. So letting yourself grieve apparently is a good one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cutting contact, at least
Yep.
temporarily.
Definitely. Definitely.
This is a very good one. Avoid idolizing the relationship.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
That's so good. It probably wasn't
Lean
that
on your
great.
support system. You probably weren't that great, yeah. You probably weren't all that good.
Well, yeah, it just probably wasn't as good as you thought it was. Like when you're actually in the relationship, it's like stressful. It's you're dealing with all the, everything. So yeah,
Yeah, and you look back at these things with rose tinted glasses, and you're like, oh, but what about when we
yeah,
walked in the park
nostalgia.
that one time? What about right? What like? What about everything else?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. You could walk in the park with somebody else,
you could
and
walk in the
sun
park
is
with
still
somebody else.
shining.
The
That
sun is
park's still there.
it's still still there. It's all right. Focus on yourself, rebuild yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Stay physically active. Exercise
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah.
Limit
Yeah.
reminders. This says remove physical
Limit
triggers.
reminders.
So, deleting
Oh yeah.
pictures, taking, throwing away things that they've bought for you, all these cute little things. Just get rid.
Oh,
Get
you
rid
know
of
what I
them.
hate? I hate the iPhone app, like you know what it does with photos and
Oh, yeah.
memories. I hate that. And it's like, oh, just so you know, 2 years ago you was with this person and they're not in your life anymore. This is a beautiful memory. It's like the iPhone
Exactly.
knows like you're broken up with this person.
Oh man, Facebook memories. Hey,
Oh
what
yeah,
did you
yeah,
say? All right, I don't need to
yeah,
know all this actually.
yeah. I hate that. We should get rid of that.
Gosh, yeah, we should get. I don't know who invented that, but it's so annoying because I don't want to know any of your
Yeah.
stuff.
No, no,
Can
no,
you let me
no.
get over life? Gosh,
Yeah.
give yourself time. I think that's an important one
Oh,
because
yeah.
you have to just give yourself time, and trust the process. It says here, just trust
Hmm.
that it's got to be all right.
Yeah. And like, yeah, you know, the there's good ahead. The best is ahead. And like there's still love is still a possibility for you. Like you haven't dropped the ball. You haven't missed it. You know,
Hmm.
the Lord is so good at
Mm-hmm.
rerouting. You know, even if you was, meant to be with that person, like Lord is so good at rerouting and just yeah, you haven't missed it. There's blessing ahead of you. And
Mm-hmm.
just because, you think you missed it with that person, you haven't. And yeah, that's what I would say.
That's a very good point. That's a very good
Mm.
point. What's one thing that you would have loved to have heard when you were
Oh,
heartbroken? What's something that could have actually
from
helped?
the
Because
person who heartbroke me, or like just in
oh, that's
general
interesting. Yeah, maybe
wisdom.
from the person who broke your heart.
Oh,
Apart from let's get back
I
together.
don't know. No, I think it would just be nice. I think there's been times when it's been abrupt, been
Mm.
quite abrupt, and then yeah, it just hasn't ended with like a full conversation. I don't think like it kind of left some things still open. I think yeah, like I think it's good just to like have a full discussion about it, and even if like you say we can't be together, like at least like in a month or two. Yeah, I don't know.
Do
Just I
you
think
do you believe
the
in
person
closure?
is no. I think closure. I think there is a different. I think there's like sometimes we trick ourselves. Like I think closure is actually bargaining. Sometimes it's like
Mm.
I think I just need this thing. I just need to say hello to them one more time, and that's it. But really,
Yeah.
really, you just miss them and just want that connection. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna have one more chat with him and have closure. Like, yeah, I think we do trick ourselves, but then I also think if you break up with someone, you should like just like lay out the reasons and just be honest and like have a full conversation about it rather than like sorry, I've got to let you go, or like, yeah, I think just a face to face. I would appreciate a face to face conversation. you
Is a
know.
face to face smart though?
Yeah.
Is it a smart thing to do?
Why?
Because
What
I
do you
feel
think could
like
happen in a face to face conversation when you break up with someone?
well, if you see someone, then you might start to feel like, oh, this is harder than what I thought it was gonna be. Like I feel like,
Oh, and then like wuss out of actually breaking up with them.
oh, you
Is
mean
that
being
what you
broken up
mean?
with face to face?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What
Okay,
was you on about?
I meant like if you want to go for like a closure chat.
Oh no, no, is it, no. This is like when they're actually breaking up with them.
Okay, yeah, no, face to face is better.
Yeah, I would say a closer chat. Yeah, you don't need that to be
I don't
face to
believe in
face.
closure chats.
Nah, yeah, they're just an excuse to like. They it's just like it's like please, just like is the door still open? They are,
We
but
all know what they are, but yet
yeah,
we act like we
yeah,
act like
yeah.
they're something that we need to move on. You know what we need to move on? If someone ends it with you, that's it. That's all you need. They
Yeah.
ended it, and I don't need any more answers. I don't need any more
Hundred
closure.
percent.
I
Like,
just
just
need to
believe them at
close.
their word. If they said it, they meant it. And
If they
like,
said it, they meant it.
if they're not messaging you, they don't want you in your life, their life, and it's hard. Yeah, it's just life is hard like that, but it is the reality. It's better to just know the reality and the truth rather than having this kind of false idea that you might get back with them.
Yes,
Um, you know,
absolutely. What are some of the things that we shouldn't do when we're heartbroken?
well, like really, like quite soon after the breakup. Do you think
Anytime that we're heart,
this is
well,
like
yes, soon after
when
the
we're
breakup,
really raw?
when you're raw, when someone has just ended it with you, no matter how many years or months or weeks you've been talking, you feel
The connection.
devastated. What are the
Okay,
things that we should
yeah.
not be doing in that time?
No, I wouldn't like drink alcohol.
Yes,
Um, yeah, that can. If you're like upset and drink alcohol, that can lead to some stupid stuff. I think.
yes,
I wouldn't isolate. Like, get around the guys, get around your girls, get like in community, speak about it. Uh, Try and keep yourself busy. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't just keep like looking at a profile on Instagram, and
yeah. No, don't do that.
I would probably delete them off social media.
Absolutely, don't show up to their
Um,
place of work.
no, definitely
Don't go to their
not.
house.
No, no,
People do this.
no.
People do these things. People do these
Hmm.
things. But no, I would definitely say I am a big advocate for uh just cutting someone off completely.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, I feel like the last person I dated, she kind of was upset that like I deleted her off Facebook, and like I think that's kind of like deleting them off social. I don't want to see her face like every time on Messenger. You know, I think that's kind of like a fair thing.
It's
You
fair.
know, to do.
I think it's
Yeah,
fair. I think you
yeah.
have
Thank
to,
you.
it's similar, like we said earlier. If being in love is like being addicted and on drugs,
Yeah,
then when you want to get off of that thing, you have to just cut it
yeah.
altogether. You can't just
That's
have
really
little bits
good.
of cococaine every now and
No,
again. No, like
you can't dabble. You
you can't
can't
just
dabble in
dabble in
cocaine.
some coke. You have to just cut out the coke and that's it. Like you
Yeah.
don't get to just see cocaine on your phone. Like
No.
no, you
Yeah.
you need to get
Yeah.
rid of this addiction, and
Yeah.
that's how
Yeah.
you get rid of it. You just
That
delete
is that's so good.
everything,
That's really good,
delete all the
Cassandra.
things, and that's really hard. And I know you're listening
Yeah.
in right
Would
now.
you do you delete photo? Would you delete
Oh,
photos then?
everything,
Oh,
everything,
really?
immediately,
Wow. Oh, wow! Immediately.
immediately. All the
Wow. Okay.
conversations, do not keep, listen, all the
Oh, yeah.
things, delete everything. And as hard as that is, you delete their number, you
Oh,
delete any form of contact that you can have with them. If you have their
wow.
number stored somewhere in a note somewhere, delete that note with their number stored in it. Delete
Wow.
everything, all things, and don't contact them again.
Do you think it's different for girls and boys? Like heartbreak?
How
Or
so?
men and
Like
women, sorry. Girls and boys.
girls and
Men and
boys,
women.
girls and boys.
I don't know. Do like women take longer to process heartbreak? Do women need to be more cutthroat with
I don't know,
like, or men
because
more
I've
easygoing?
definitely, in my days of date. I mean, I'm not dating anymore. In case you
No.
don't know, I am now engaged. So
Come
I'm speaking
on.
from a place of feeling
Praise
like
the
this could
lamb.
never happen, and then it happened, and I was like, man, I never thought I'd get here, because there were definitely times in my
Uh,
past when I was like, man, I'm never gonna love anyone. I'm never gonna be able to love again. This is
uh,
just, I'm never gonna feel that. But here I am engaged, so I speak
wow,
from this
come on.
place in case you are just tuning in. But I've
There is
definitely,
hope.
there is definitely hope. But
Mm-hmm.
I have
Mm-hmm.
definitely felt like in the past, for me, I'm a no
Mm-hmm.
contact person. So if I end with
Yeah,
someone or
yeah.
someone ends with me, you will never hear from me again. And that's
Oh,
just that.
wow.
Like, we're not going to
You
talk
said that
again.
with such authority.
You're just not going to hear from me again. Like, that's it now. Like, it's done.
Come on.
And it's not to
Yeah.
say it's an immediate thing. Sometimes it could take a few months to get to that stage. But I always know in the back of my
Yeah.
mind,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to hear from me again. And that's
Yeah,
where we're at.
yeah.
But the people that for example, I've ended with or have ended with me, sometimes they have, months, years down the line come back afterwards and be like, oh, how come we didn't get back
Yeah.
together, or whatever. And I then question and say, why are you not over it? Because I'm far past this. So I don't know if it's different for
Yeah.
men and women.
You know what? I heard somewhere that women actually get over breakups quick. Like initially, women take it harder.
mm,
Like their emotion, they take it really hard, but they actually get out of it quicker. It's guys that brood over it longer and longer. Because I think women are like, it's part of their evolutionary makeup that they, in terms of finding a mate, yeah, they're just built to get over it quicker. So I thought that was interesting.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe because I know that for me, if I have ever been heartbroken, yeah, I mean, it hurts. But then when it
Do you do
stops,
no? Sorry, yeah, carry on.
no, no, go on.
I was gonna. Do you do no contact if you broke up with them?
Yes, I think it's for the better of them.
Uh, right.
100%. I
Yeah.
think it's selfish if
Yeah.
I end it with someone and then I'm
Yeah.
always messaging them. I just think
Yeah.
that's
It's
really
selfish, isn't it?
selfish to
Yeah.
just always be putting myself in their life if I don't want to be with them. And I
Mm,
know it might sound really,
that's hard,
arrogant
isn't it?
or whatever, but I don't know when they're going to get over me. Like, I
Mm,
don't know,
mm,
because I ended it. And if they didn't want to end it with me, I have to be fair and give them that space and that time to move
mm,
on, and not
yeah.
always put myself in their life and not be that
Yeah. That's
person,
good.
that presence
It's
that
very
they're
tempting,
comparing
though.
people to. And it is tempting because,
For
like you
me,
said,
it's tempting.
if you like you said earlier, you build up a friendship with someone, and someone's
Yeah.
been in your life for a while and you've known everything about them, and it's strange to just go back to strangers. But if you have broken up with someone, you have to accept and have already
Yeah.
thought about the fact that if I end with this person, I may
Yeah. I'm not
never
gonna see him
get to
again.
speak to them again.
Mhm.
Like, I
Mhm.
may never get to have them in my life ever again. Am I all right with
Yeah.
that? And you have to say yeah, because you know life is life.
Mhm.
What do you do?
When what? When
Have you
if I
you said earlier that you've ended it with people?
yeah, I think no contact's the best thing. Um, yeah, probably when I was younger, I would probably keep them in my life, but I
Mm,
think yeah, no contact. But yeah, it is tempting just to like message them like, "Hey, how you doing? You doing good?"
yeah, don't do
Like,
it.
because you yeah, no, it's not good. It is selfish, and it is yeah, you're just not really respecting the other person.
You're
But
not.
I endorse no contact. I think
Good.
that's the best way. But it's also it's hard to like yeah, I don't know, like when if you're just messaging on an app and it doesn't get, or if you meet up once or twice, it's not that bad. But like yeah, when you're actually like dating them and like you're in their life, that's I think that's when no contact becomes even more important. Which
Yeah,
is
like if it's a cat, I mean, I guess only you know how deep it got and how
yeah,
only you can say what the real thing of that
yeah,
was. So you would know whether it's
yeah.
okay that you keep on chatting for a bit. Only you know how far you've gone in terms of intimacy. Like only
Yeah,
you guys would know
that's
these things.
yeah.
So, you
It's
might have
sad
just
though. It is just sad when like one person is kind of like, oh, I'm there, but the other person's not even like nowhere. You're just on different levels of investment. It's kind of
it's very
sad, I
sad.
think.
It's a sad thing, and it's a
Um,
thing that, we don't always know
yeah,
why is it
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Um but okay, we've got 10 minutes left and I wanted to run
Oh,
through
this
very
has gone so
quickly.
quick.
It's gone very fast. I wanted to run
Yeah,
through
that's
very
great.
quickly the Christian things, because this is a Christian dating podcast. The Christian things
Yeah,
that you do to,
yeah.
to get over someone. Let's bring God into this.
Great. Let's just shoehorn
Let's
the Lord
just
into
put a
this.
bit of God into this. So, number one, it says here to bring God, bring your pain to God. So that's taking
Oh,
it to God
yeah, that is
through
great.
prayer. That's
That's a
saying,
really
Lord,
real thing as
it's a
well.
very real thing. It's a
You know
very,
what? One of my favorite verses is the Lord is close to the brokenhearted.
what? I have got that scripture right here. Psalm
Ah,
34:18. The
it's
Lord is close to the
beautiful.
brokenhearted and saves
Come
those who
on.
are crushed in spirit.
Oh,
That is a very powerful scripture.
that's a good. Yeah, that's a good one to think. If you're thinking about trying to text them or trying to like bargain with them, like no, just leave it. You're brokenhearted, but just let the Lord heal you. You know,
Let the Lord heal you.
He's close.
Definitely. Definitely. And when you do cry out to him, he listens. He does listen.
Mm,
He absolutely
yeah.
does listen. Um, Another one here says, similar to what you said, to be fair, surround yourself with a Christian community. So,
Mm-hmm.
don't isolate yourself. Make sure that you
No.
talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
This is an interesting one, but I think it really helps when you are heartbroken, and that is
Mm-hmm.
to practice forgiveness and to let go of bitterness
Mm.
and to not
Whew,
reject the
this is
person.
good. Come
Because you
on.
know what? When someone ends it with you, or has, especially in the way that they've ended it, if they've ended it
Yeah.
in like a really horrible way, or they've cheated on you, or they've just finally just
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, I don't
Just
want to
stop
be here anymore."
messaging.
Just
Yeah.
that's You have things to forgive in that. You have things to forgive.
That's not. That's not. There's ways to end things.
There
You
are
know.
ways to end things.
Yeah.
There are
That could be
ways
a
to
whole
end things.
podcast. That could be a
That
whole
could be a
episode.
whole
But
thing.
yeah, I think it's hard not to be bitter when just the person is like maybe like ghosted you, and when you have to like. I hate that when you have to find out what's happening.
Yeah.
Like that's not how it should be. And yeah, it's hard not to be bitter against that. And
Oh, 100%.
um, but what I was gonna say, what yeah, forgiveness is good, but also like just praying for that person and like just praying blessing and like really praying like actually Lord, I hope I made an impact on her life, but really Lord, just bring her the guy that she's meant to be with. Pray that she gets to be a mum.
Whew,
Lord, just bless her like she
that's a tough
deserves
prayer,
it.
you know.
It's tough, but
That's
it
a very hard
heals.
prayer, but it really helps. It does actually help when you are in the midst of a heartbreak and you can sit there and say,
Yeah.
God, I am praying for this person and I'm really
Hmm.
praying that you bring them the right
Come
person.
on.
Listen,
Oh, that's a
listen,
powerful prayer.
that's
Tough
very
prayers are
powerful
powerful
prayers.
prayers.
They are. That's a hard
Hmm.
prayer. Because
Hmm.
I've definitely had times when I've wanted to pray the complete opposite. Lord, just kill them all. Don't let nobody, because they don't
Lord,
deserve it.
Lord, castrate him.
Please. But no, that's not a good prayer. And actually, when you do pray for their success and you pray for their healing, and if
Mm.
they've cheated, you pray and you say, Lord, I pray that this person they can fix their brokenness. I do think that if you cheat, it comes out of a
Ah.
place of you being broken, you
Mhm.
having so much going on in yourself that you're now
Mhm.
putting it onto someone else and not making good decisions.
Mm.
So
Yep.
praying that
Yep.
prayer and saying, Lord, I just pray that they fix that and they can be a better partner to someone else. That's a really hard prayer to pray, but it does really help you in
Mm.
your journey
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
heartbreak.
Mhm. Mhm. It's so good. So good.
This is one that is also quite a good one. Fill your mind with positive and godly thoughts,
Mhm.
or just funny
Mhm.
stuff. What I tended to do is I would just watch comedy shows and that, like just stuff that
uh.
would make me laugh. Because when you're
Mm.
heartbroken, you just need a bit of a laugh. Don't forget that you can laugh.
Mhm. And often, like a few years down the line, you can laugh at like the person that you date, like just kind of like, oh my gosh, I dated that. How on earth that would have been a
Oh,
miserable marriage?
absolutely.
Like,
Yeah. No,
it's good when you get
honestly,
to that. I feel that's a sign of like healing when you can actually just
that is
laugh
the ultimate
about.
sign. No,
Yeah, yeah,
literally,
yeah,
where you can. I've done that before, especially now
yeah.
that I'm like engaged. But I can definitely look back and be like, I actually understand completely why none of those relationships worked out. And actually,
Mm-hmm.
now that I'm
Mm.
here, I'm almost like thanking God. Every day I'll be like, God,
Ah,
thanks. Like, I know that it was really hard
really?
that they didn't work out, but I actually
Yeah.
understand now why. Because if that person hadn't ended it at that time, or if I hadn't ended it with that person, then I would never have met this really lovely man. We just wouldn't have met. He probably
Mm.
would have been off with
Mm-hmm.
someone else. I would have been married to someone else. And yeah, we wouldn't have known that we
Mm.
had existed, but I wouldn't have known what
Mm.
I could have had if one of those things had worked
Ah,
out. So you get to a place
yeah.
eventually
That's
where you
great.
actually can look back. genuinely and say, Lord, thank you. Thank you for those things that
Come
did not
on.
work out. I
And also, like,
thank you.
nothing's wasted.
Nothing's
There's the
wasted.
there's stuff from them failed relationships that you wouldn't have been able to attain without that person. And like, I think, yeah, relationships are like a training ground. Sometimes they reveal, what's in you, and like what you need to grow in, and your strengths, your weaknesses. So like, be thankful for the training ground and the opportunity to learn. And without that person, you wouldn't be the person you are today. So like, nothing's wasted, and there's gold somewhere in that failed relationship.
There's gold somewhere. No, that's a really great point. I love
Yeah.
that. Nothing is wasted.
Mm.
Because you can kind
No,
of feel like
nothing.
that. If you've wasted like months, weeks, years invested
Yeah.
in someone, you just think, man, what a waste of
Yeah.
time that was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why did I even
100%.
bother with that?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
actually, you wouldn't be who you are today if you hadn't have met that person. So,
Sometimes I wish just like the Lord would give me a heads up, just like, oh yeah, by the way, Rob, this is not going to end well.
by the
Like,
way,
I would appreciate a heads up now and then. Yeah, don't get into this, mate. What are you doing?
by the way, just don't get too deep in it.
Yeah, by the way, you are not a good fit at all.
You only God doesn't wanna. God likes us to learn our own lessons, so He'll
That's
have
why.
to like.
That's why I don't like.
Do you think? I'll just be here at the end. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah. Oh, you're dating her. Okay, I'll be here when you need me.
I'll be here when you need me. It's all right. It's all right. Adi said, I believe it's
uh,
important to reach the point of praying and wishing the best for the
yeah.
person. Maybe
Mm,
can maybe to consider it as a part of the healing process. Yes. No, Adi, like we said,
mm,
yeah, it is when you get to that point, it's you should really bring that in early. You should really force those prayers, even when you're sitting there doing it through gritted
yeah.
teeth, like, oh, I just pray for us
Yeah.
for good life. Just
Yeah.
pray anyway.
Hmm.
But yeah, that is a great place to be. We got 3 minutes left. Do you have any final
Okay.
thoughts, Rob?
Final thoughts. I would say, yeah, heartbreak is rough, but it's proof that you actually put yourself out there, and like,
Mm-hmm.
love costs, and the Lord made himself very vulnerable when he loves us. And yeah, like, yeah, heartbreak is a sign that you showed up. And yeah, it's tough, but it will pass as well. Like, in a few years, hopefully you'll just be laughing about it. And yeah, I would say, just no matter what the situation, there is good ahead. You haven't missed the person.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't fumbled the ball. Like, there is love is available to you. There's blessing ahead, and yeah, you're not gonna miss it. You haven't missed it. So yeah, that's what I would say.
No, I think that's great. Yeah, you ain't fumbled.
Mm,
There's blessing ahead. I
no.
would say the same.
Yeah.
I would say, uh, top tips for getting over heartbreak. Please just don't talk to them. Just don't
Yeah.
talk. As hard as
Yeah.
it is, you just
Yeah.
have to have the discipline and the grit
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
foresight. Is that the right word?
On both sides. On both
On
sides.
both sides to say, just
Yeah.
don't talk to this person. As much as,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
as much as you might really want to, just open a note in
Mm-hmm.
your phone whenever you feel like you want to talk to them and just write it in a note or message a friend. Just say, I really want to message them right now. Can I message you instead? And or message
Mm.
yourself on WhatsApp. You can even open up a chat with
Oh
yourself.
yeah.
And whenever you want to
Yeah.
message them, you just go to the chat and you just type everything in there and then you get it all. And you feel like
Mm.
you've sent a message to them, but you haven't. And I would say
Mm-hmm.
definitely you will
That's great.
absolutely take it from someone who has been there. I've been there, I've been back, and I've been there again. You will definitely one day you'll find someone and you'll look back and be like, man, I get why that didn't work actually. I understand
Mm-hmm.
now. Um and it happens and it's not a fairy tale. It's not an
No.
impossible thing. You can just meet someone tomorrow and that could be the
Mm-hmm.
person randomly out the blue. You could just meet
Mm.
someone on Salt, dating app, who
Yeah.
turns out to next year be the love of your life. You just don't know. So you have to keep having that hope. That's what I
Yeah.
would
Another thing
say.
I'll just say, yeah, don't take it personally as
Don't
well.
take
It's
it
probably
personally.
it's more on them than you. And it's not. indicative of your self-worth and your your worth to be loved. And
Yes,
yeah, it's not on you, so don't worry.
I would agree with that. Don't take it personally.
Mm.
And on that note, thank you very much for listening in. If you have been listening in,
Mm.
for those that have commented, thank you very much. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. So we will see you then. Bye.
Amen.